and on the vinyl doors in big white writing on black, it said, "This is New Zealand." And I just pushed the doors open and walked into an auditorium where the lights were going down, and then up came the 3-screen installation.
I joined the film unit in 1962, and we had a heck of a lot of freedom to do what we wanted under Mr. Jeffrey Scott, the manager. But we didn't always recognise how fortunate we were at the time.
Our staff all loved New Zealand. They loved making films, and they were keen, young, enthusiastic, and most creative. J.R. Marshall called a meeting at Parliament Buildings and turned to me and said, "Well, what do you think, Jeff? I think we ought to have a film." I said, "Most certainly, you need a film." He said, "Can you do it?" I said, "We can do it. We'll do it." I decided the 3-screen thing gave us the best latitude for creative ability in presenting New Zealand. The trouble was finding somebody with the imagination to handle the concept of 3-screen presentation. This was my problem. And we had a young director who'd done jolly good work, and his name was Hugh Macdonald.
Mr. Scott called me into his office and told me about the job and said I was going to direct it. I was a bit floored, actually.
But the whole staff got him behind this project, particularly the cameramen.
There's no question that the way it looked on cinema was an enormous experience for people at the time. We hadn't seen anything like that.
The whole nation was sort of suddenly swollen with pride about this movie.
J.R. Marshall, who was the minister at the time, said, "Jeff, I want the people of New Zealand to see this." Every time he saw the film, he burst into tears. So he said, "We'll bring it back to New Zealand. The New Zealanders must see it."
My first experience with This Is New Zealand was seeing the movie as a schoolboy. I was at Pukerua Bay Primary School, 1971, so I would have been 10 years old.
Everybody thought it was really, really special, and was so proud that this had been used to show us to the rest of the world at the Osaka Expo.
It was like the moral and cultural duty of every citizen of New Zealand to see the movie. So there I was with my school class, and I went and looked at it at the embassy and really enjoyed it. And I remember going back and seeing it a second time with my mum and dad.
It's a perfect crystallization of a particular view of the country, and I think its value as such is enormous and will endure.
But what This Is New Zealand did is that it captured something of the spirit of the country, and you know, that's what's missing from anything that happens today, is that you get the facts, you get the news reports, or you get the entertainment through a soap opera, but you don't get anything that reflects the spirit of the nation and the sort of just the vibe of the country.
The marriage of the people in the land, and the people in the sea. I reckon in 40 years' time it would be just as powerful.
That was a genuinely creative piece of filmmaking.